I wanted to turn to something that Dr. Peterson raised in your June 2013 meeting, which I think is deserving of special attention now, given the announcement this week by Exelon that by the end of the year, Exelon expects to make a decision as to whether to continue operating the Clinton and Quad Cities plants. And that relates to the changing electricity supply portfolio and our loads and what implications they may have for Diablo Canyon's 24/7 mode of operation. In your minutes from the June 5th and 6th meeting, the indication is Dr. Lamb observed Dr. Peterson's previous comment on the impact of negative electricity rates due to wind and solar availability was of concern, as it may have a negative financial impact, which could lead to a negative impact on safety. Ms. Walter, and I believe she's a PG&E representative, replied that PG&E is projecting this as a future problem to be addressed in the 2017-2018 period. And I would suggest that you accelerate your own consideration of that issue. I know you've had a fact-finding on the matter after Dr. Peterson raised it, but I think this is deserving of careful attention going forward. It clearly would have an operations and maintenance effect. It could very well have a capital expenditure effect, and it very well might have a safety effect. So I would encourage you on behalf of the Alliance to get out in front of this problem and make certain that it receives the attention that it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional comments from the public? Very good. Do we have any discussion at this point?
That comment's very well received by me. We're going to pay attention to that closely. In the business, it's called load following. What that means for general public that don't understand is that these plants generally operate all the time, and we always think of them as safest when they're operating all the time rather than coming down and going back or lowering their power levels. And the proposal that a plant like Diablo Canyon might, for example, just come down to 75% power or 50% power during the night and then come back during the day has clear implications for the long-term safety performance of the plant that we understand and we're going to be looking at, because we're worried about the fact, and it is a fact, that that produces thermal effects and it produces certain other strains on equipment that we don't think are as safe as if it's just plain running. On the other hand, it is manageable, and we're going to be paying attention to it. Okay, you bet. And it's not just because of 2017. We're going to be paying attention to it. We've already started, and we're going to be looking at it more carefully as we go along. Now, there's something important to say more broadly that is quite separate from Diablo Canyon. The whole nuclear industry in the U.S. is looking at this question, and there are some studies going on outside of Diablo, that is nationally, on questions about what the safety issues are, and we're going to be paying attention to those as they proceed and as things get published and reviewed.
And for your information, Mr. Giesman, in today's public tour, I had 2 public inquiries regarding how expensive this plan in terms of maintenance and operating schedule, and vis-a-vis ultimately would it impact on safety. So your concern as a related matter has also been raised today in our public tour.